Sample Productions.
It's all about the secret ballers, shot callers. What's he like? Is he fearful or cautious? What's the stat? Can he play it in the corners? What's the fact? Can he hack it with the ballers? It's all about ballers, shot callers. Ballers, shot callers. It's all about ballers, shot callers. Ballers, shot callers. It's all about ballers. With Secret Scout. Make sure you subscribe.
Hello and welcome back to Hit the Channels, a brand new podcast brought to you by myself, Clinton Ford, and David from the Secret Scout. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Looking forward to discussing some of the players that have broke through this season.
Yeah, you and me both, man. I mean, what a week it's been, man. Harry Howell has broke through.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, man.
Hey, do you know what? So proud. Known of the boy and the family since about 13. And yeah, he's a left-footed player, often played as a central midfielder, but can play in wide areas, which he's done for Brighton youth teams, but also for England internationals, under 16, under 17. He's played right wing. But yeah, he's a lot taller than I remember. Obviously, he's gone through his growth.
Yeah.
But just a wonderful player. Honestly, the way he plays, he likes cutting in off the left. Who don't these days?
Yeah.
But always trying to find a through ball. He likes the one where he cuts in and lifts it to the back post.
Right.
But his mentality is top. Always was sometimes a bit too harsh on himself, too down on some of his actions in games. But look, as you get older, you mature. But yeah, just watching him come on for his debut, which was with his cousin, Jack Hinshelwood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his dad, Harry's dad used to be a scholar at Arsenal many moons ago. So there's DNA in the family. But yeah, he's going to be a top player.
Really?
Yeah. He's like for me, he reminds me like a Jack Grealish type. You know, he can get away, that sharpness. He's not a sprinter by any sort of imagination, but yeah, he can always nick a yard, and if he nicks that yard and gets a shot off, big trouble.
So he's an entertainer, should I say?
Yeah. Do you know, it's kind of like a player maybe sometimes we don't usually bring through because we always question about mobility. But the boy can play.
Yeah.
Boy can play, and look, it's an interesting one because he didn't. The England team are in the Euros, under 17 Euros. He's usually in it.
Right.
I don't think he's missed the camp for at least over a year. But yeah, he's made his debut now for Brighton.
Wow.
Another one that's coming through from their academy.
Yeah, Brighton's academy is producing the goods, right?
Yeah, as I said, they've always wanted to. Obviously, since they moved from Cat 2 to Cat 1, they've always now having to work to get to the players where they can come through. They got Freddie Simmons, another boy that's playing under 21s and potentially can break through. He's with the 17s as well in Albania. So, yeah, it's been a good start for the Howell family.
No, it definitely has. Whilst we're discussing players that are coming through, let's talk about some other players as well. So let's start with Arsenal. Might as well, if we have to.
They're doing all right.
They're doing all right. They're doing all right. Let's talk about the main two in particular, Ethan and Myles. So yeah, what's your thoughts on their first initial seasons in the Premier League in first team football?
Yeah, I think Myles has obviously had more game time. With him being left-footed and the ability for him to play left-back, but also roll into the middle when Arsenal have possession. Honestly, this boy coming through the age groups, wow. Ability to hold off players, so calm under pressure, ability to receive back to goal as well, and he can wriggle out of situations.
Yeah.
Once he's got past you, the arms coming out, boom! You ain't coming back. Man. You ain't coming back. And you've seen it in games like big games. He's still able to showcase what he's about, like what he did in youth football. He's doing right now in the first team. And look, the game against Real Madrid, it just again highlighted his mentality to play at the highest level. He's there, and he's still so young, but. Now, look, it comes from a family, obviously his mum, who's been really supportive, and the dad, but the mum has obviously created her own that kind of organisation to help parents, which I think is really important. But yeah, I think Myles has alluded to how much a bigger impact she's had, on his career. But yeah, just so good to see him playing.
Yeah, and then Ethan as well.
Yeah, Ethan. So basically, he's probably been, him and Myles been the main ones coming through at Arsenal, and like those two dominated youth football. They've often had to play a lot higher up. In terms of the age group, they've always played it a year up, and as it got older, 2 years up, with it going into the 21s. And like, again, Ethan was an outstanding young player, very humble, very focused, and wanted to, he wanted to make it. He wanted to stay at Arsenal. I don't think there was any question of him wanting to leave. But for me, it's the way he plays. Obviously, again, another player that wants to cut inside. But I would like to see him in midfield, as a 10 at times. Yeah, because I think he's got the ability to do that as well. I don't think Arsenal fans have seen him within central areas because, they've got other players, Odegaard and Partey, Rice. So it's difficult for him to get in there. But look, he's shown his impact from wide areas. But yeah, Arsenal have done brilliant with those two, and the fans are, I'm going to enjoy them for hopefully many years to come.
I was about to say that, like, not to stir the pot too much, but we've seen a lot of players come through Hale End, but not kind of made the grade, or they've moved on. Yeah. How long will they be there for?
Who? Those two?
Nah,
I can't.
Because we look at Reece Nelson, for example.
Yeah.
He made the grade, and then now he's playing down the road.
It depends if you're from an Arsenal point of view, they're just looking for top young players that come through that are good enough for the first team. They want to win, right? I don't think there's sentiment as much now. If they're not as good, we just keep them because they're from here.
I'm talking from a fan's point of view. I know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. From a fan's point of view, if they're not doing the job on the pitch, you're going to move on, right?
Yeah, but again, you got that odd occasional fan who'll be like, oh, he's one of our own. I don't like to see him down the road, or I don't want to see him in a different colour kit.
You're thinking too nice. That's only happening if they're good enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's only, if they're performing well, especially in a team that wants to win things. Yeah, I just think, obviously there might be a little bit more, okay, we need to give them time. And look, they're still young, but if they're 22, 23 and not performing, and then that might be a different question. But for now, they've been outstanding additions to the team. And yeah, there's probably one more that will be coming through in the next year or so.
That conveyor belt doesn't stop, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Whilst we're still in London, we might as well stick with Chelsea then. Tyrique George.
Yeah, look, Tyrique, young lad coming through. He's been at Chelsea for a number of years. Played as a left winger, right winger, central midfield as well at Chelsea. Look, if I'm being honest, did I see him making an impact as much as he has right now? Probably not. I think there might have been a few others that might have thought they were gonna push on, but I think the timing that Tyrique's coming, obviously, that you can't ignore that they're playing Conference League. So again, that enables more younger players to play in it. But you've got to say he's taking his chance. He's impressed in training. Some of the boys that might be just going over for training's sake or making up the numbers. But if the manager likes what he's seen, why not? Bring him, get him involved. And I think he's taking his opportunity. I know he's played centre forward. Look, it's not his position, but he'll try his hardest. And look, good luck to the lad, because he's now got a career at Chelsea, whereas there's others that might have been ahead of him, and they're not in that position.
Especially during a difficult, let's say, transitional time at Chelsea, to say the least. I mean, what would you say his best strengths and attributes are?
Do you know, he's a player that's got different abilities. He's running off the ball. He can take players on. Obviously, he's quite a tall lad as well. But it's just his game intelligence. He recognises when he can do certain things on the pitch and when it's time to lend it. So that's, certain times you get players that just want to dribble.
Yeah.
But he knows, like, okay, what do I need to do when I'm centrally? What do I need to do in wide areas? If you make good decisions, the manager will like you. So, yeah, no, I'm really, really proud of and how he's done.
Now, this one I'm very curious on because I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit biased. Newcastle United fan here.
Yeah.
Tyler Dibling, he's been linked a few times. What's your thoughts?
Do you know his backstory? You know he went to Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
At 16.
Okay.
So he was at Southampton, really highly thought of. Chelsea came in. He decided to leave. The family decided to leave in that summer. And then he moved to Chelsea. And then he just, I don't think he settled in well. Not to say there was any issues with Chelsea. It's just a different club. It's a different beast to Southampton's academy.
Well, you've heard that story so many times where, you know, they might have started off at Chelsea, but because there's so many players, you know, trying to make the grade there, you know, you find
I think, there is that. But when you look at, it's a big transition. Like you don't, football great on the pitch, fine, but moving into digs, moving away from home, like, it's not easy for a young person. Sometimes adults struggle when they move abroad or if they go. It takes time to settle. And I think for Tyler, what was really good from Southampton's side and Chelsea's side is that they recognise, okay, maybe we just think about the boy and say, look, you can go back. And I think I would say it's not something that normally happens, but it's really good to see that they thought about the child's, because he was still he's still a young person, to think about how he felt. But it wouldn't have been easy to arrange all of that, him going back. But yeah, it seems at the moment a really, really good move back to Southampton because he's performed really, really well. Going on to your point of Newcastle, look, there's always going to be rumours when it's a top young talent coming through, but yeah, look, he's obviously he's dropping down into the Championship.
How would you say he's fared in the Premier League
this
season?
He's been very good.
Even in the struggling Southampton team?
Very, very good. And you just want to, like, if you can pick him up and put him into a team that's, dominates the ball a little bit more, is a bit more successful, what he could be, I think that's the art of a scout is looking at, okay, he's able to do this in this team. Imagine what he can do in our team. So I would expect him to make a move in the summer, whether that's your club, Newcastle.
He reminds you a lot of Anthony Gordon in that sense of just like that doggedness, just that
grafts.
Grafter, and that's what we want.
And I think you guys would appreciate it up there. You
Yeah.
know? So let's see how the summer pans out and if there's any booms on.
I'm expecting a text from you first if he goes through. But okay, let's move on to Man United.
Yeah.
Chido Obi-Martin.
Yes.
Talk about him.
Yeah, striker that came from Arsenal. A big move, obviously, moving from one big club to another. He started in the under-18s. He came from Denmark at 13. Early developer, really, really early developer. Bigger than everyone, but he was still good. He's not just big because of his size. He actually could finish brilliantly. His movement off the ball was really, really good coming through Arsenal. And Man United saw an opportunity. They thought an opportunity would be better to go to United, and he's made his debut. He's played in games this season. He started at 18s, went 21s, and now first team. Potentially, depending on how things look in the summer, he might be able to get more opportunities next season. At these times when players move, there's always a thought about, okay, what's their pathway? And it might be a loan move away before coming back to United and properly establishing himself as a number one striker at the club. But yeah, it might be a loan move. But again, a really, really good signing for Manchester United and a big loss for Arsenal in there. Go on, sorry.
How would he fit into Amorim's style of play? Because obviously he's struggling right now for results.
Yeah.
How would he fit into that for next season?
I think with look, Amorim's still got work to do in terms of the team right now. I think he came in with an idea of how he wants his teams to play, but he just found it really difficult to get that across. So, look, he'll fit in as a number. If he was a number 9, if I'm being honest, I don't think it will be next year. I think he might be able to play certain games if he's backup striker. But again, it depends on the transfers. But the way Almiron wants to play, very aggressive, attacking, dominating the ball, he'd be perfect for it due to his size, ability to hold up the ball, make runs in behind. And first and foremost, he can score goals. So again, if he trains well in pre-season, scores a lot of goals, if he doesn't go on loan, you never know. He could start.
He could be the saviour for the club and for his job as well. Yeah. Right, whilst we're in Manchester, hey, I'm just saying that.
Wow.
Whilst we're in Manchester, we might as well cross over to the other side of the water. Kaden Braithwate, talk to me about him.
Yeah, Kaden has an interesting youth time. So, for example, he at moments playing attacking midfield as a 10, then he's playing centre-back, then he's playing left-back. So he's played in different areas of the pitch. Sometimes I feel left-footers, that just happens with them. You look at Myles, Lewis-Skelly, look at even Nico O'Reilly. He's played in those positions as well. Another boy that's broken through. But Kaden is, he's a top centre-back.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, this boy can play.
How far away is he from breaking into the first team, though?
Well, look, he's made appearances this season already. Dependent again on who they signed. Look, they signed a couple in.
Because
Man
City could just.
Yeah. Again,
and they're going through. They're going to go for a rebuild. Let's face it. Especially after this season. So, what I'm trying to ask is like, will Man City's rebuild stifle his?
I think Pep said this week. He said that he doesn't want to have 25, 26 players that are. He wants. Maybe 19, 20, so more academy boys can come through. Question on Kaden is that a loan might be really good for him, but Man City tend to dominate possession of the ball, so actually how much defending at youth level has he done? So a loan move could be brilliant. Imagine him in a championship where you're coming up against strikers that are elbowing you, like pinching you, little tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
That could be really good for his defensive side of the game. Character building in the changing room. But he possesses a great profile. I'm really looking forward. Next 2-3 years, he could become a top centre-back in Europe.
Okay. Right, we're heading back down south, back down to London.
Yeah.
Josh King, Fulham. Talk to me about him.
This boy is under the radar. For me, a player that probably you expect coming from Europe, the way he plays, so cool and calm in possession, ability to go past players. But his overall style of play is fantastic. And again, Fulham are starting to see, hold on a minute, the first team, this boy can play and we need to start giving him more minutes. And every time he's come on, the Fulham fans have loved him. I'm really expecting him to again kick on. I think he should stay with Fulham next season and not go on loan. I do think he can add real value to the team.
Do Fulham blood in a lot of their youngsters a lot of the time? I don't really hear too much about... Sorry, Fulham fans out there, but I don't hear too much about Fulham youngsters coming through the ranks.
Yeah, there's obviously Martial that they signed at 17. He's had a couple of appearances. I think it's fair to say, obviously, they recruit a lot of players, so maybe they felt the academy boys haven't been, and look, the manager wants to win games, so he's probably thinking, are you actually ready to step up? But Josh, as I said, Josh is a top centre midfielder. If any of you can go and watch him and see any of his games or clips, they'll understand why I think highly of him.
Right, so we're still in London, West London to be exact,
on
the blue side. Yeah. Now, apologies if I butcher this name, I'm going to try it. Shumaira Mheuka.
Yeah, nearly. So Shumaira Mheuka. So I say Mheuka, some say Mheuka, but for me it's from what I've known him, or Shim. Call him Shim. Shimmy.
Man like Shimmy.
So they'll be saying Shim or Shimmy in a changing room. But he again probably like Chido, early developer. But there was a big misconception about him just being big, and that's it. But I've been very vocal to people in the game, like when he's 14, 15, 16, that he's not just big. Like, he used to play as a number 10, loved dropping in, twisting, turning. I remember a game against Chelsea before Chelsea signed him, maybe 6 months before, and he scored like a hat-trick against them. And then, I think Chelsea were like, no, we need to, we need to get this boy in. But again, a lovely family that they come from. He's from Zimbabwe, family's from Zimbabwe. But yeah, again, I think next couple of years, potentially, if he doesn't come through at Chelsea, a loan move, or you've seen some of the players move to Europe and then maybe come back. But yeah, a brilliant striker. And again, does exactly the things that he did in youth level in first team. I think that's the way. Yeah, I don't think there is the players that are top at youth level. It's mainly about whether they can do exactly the same thing from youth to first team. That's if you're not the same player where you're so successful in youth and you can't do it in first team or pro football, you're not going to have a chance.
But it must be a couple factors down to the fact of you're making the grade up. It's a big jump up.
It is.
But also the change of management styles, possibly, unless you're at a club that has that same philosophy all throughout.
There's factors, manager, 3 points, players coming in from all over the world now. It's not just, you're not just competing against players in your country or your area. It's they can get them from South America, from Africa, from Europe. So yeah, there's a lot of factors, but I still go down to the fact that are the players able to perform as they would do in youth football? If you can't, then you're not the same player, so you might not make it. That's the harsh realities of it.
Now, I was just out in Paris this weekend. Paris, in the PSG dressing room to be exact, and I saw this shirt there. And I was thinking, had a little quick look around just to make sure Daniel was not looking. Nearly had it in my backpack, but Zaire-Emery. I was like, he is a baller.
Yes, Warren, PSG, again from 14, 15 has been on everyone's radar. A top young player, central midfield. Again, he was miles ahead of everyone coming through the youth ranks, and I think he burst in terms of. Sorry, Micah. He burst onto the scene, and then obviously now the transition where PSG wanna win. Other players, other Vitinhas come in and midfielders like him. So he probably not has played as many each week, but wow, what a talent!
To get into that team first of all, you must have a bit about him.
He's a player.
Yeah,
he's a player, and there's so much ability in this boy. It's like he can run past you, he can run off you, he can receive under pressure. So look, France. How many years we're gonna say they keep producing, but they do. It's just non-stop.
Has he got a lot of expectations on his shoulders, obviously, coming through that team, and Mbappe was the star boy for so long?
I think.
Or they're taking his time with him?
No, I think where there's other top players, I think, they respect that, he's still young. The fact that he's playing maybe 1-2 games, then maybe not featuring. I think they're just trying to manage it. But yeah, PSG, phenomenal academy. But what Warren is, he's a top player.
And then last but no means least, we can't not.
We had to leave him. We had to leave him last because we could probably do a whole episode on this kid.
Pretty much. I mean, he is the star of Barcelona, Lamine Yamal. Like, what a guy! What a guy! I mean, he's playing like he's beyond his years. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's not normal. It's not normal to see.
How do they keep doing it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's something in the diet over there. No, Lamine is. Yeah, watched him in the UEFA Youth League, and he showed moments where obviously you can see this boy's got something special. But I never knew he would be able to go and do this you know, I'd be a liar, we'd be a liar, you know, in the team that we thought he's going to just tear it up like he has. Like, his ability to go left, like Iron Robin, remember him? Cutting him on the left, it's like dangerous, but his ability to go on the right, defenders, like they're putting 2-3 players on him, so he knows when to release it. Like that game against Inter Milan. What a game. But yeah, he's just a phenomenal player, and he's won so much, and he's only young. He's like
what, 17?
17, it's like...
I know people will keep making the comparisons to Messi, but it's like, is that too soon?
I don't know. I don't like to put pressure on the player like that. You know, is he doing a bit more than what Messi did? Potentially.
Yeah.
But wow, we thought we wouldn't see something like Messi or Ronaldo
for a long
time, and he's just he could win the Ballon d'Or 4 or 5 years in a row
easily, and that's with the likes of Mbappe still around.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Who else would you say is in contention for that age group?
Not many.
Mbappe, Haaland's
maybe. I don't know. I just think Lamine Yamal is every generation. There's a player where everyone just loves to watch him play football, and are looking at him like, how is he doing it? And I think Lamine Yamal is that player where everyone just remembers why we love the game. We want to see these type of players, and wow, he's only 17. The World Cup next year. I need to get over there. To be fair, I need to get over to there. But yeah, phenomenal player. He could still be playing under. I think he could be playing under 17 still for Spain.
Wow.
So yeah, it just shows you just the incredible rise. And again, the transition from youth to first team, he's making it look easy.
Effortless.
Making it look easy like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure the viewers really, really appreciate that we've got a next player to look after us for the next generation.
We have indeed. And, well, thanks for the insight.
Pleasure.
And guys at home, I hope you enjoyed it as well. The insight onto all the potential wonder kids coming through the ranks. And if there's any that we left out, please drop
definitely
a comment in the comment section below. I've been Clinton. This has been David from The Secret Scout. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on in a bit.
Ballers, shot callers, all about